This is big breaking emergency news. We now have ICE insiders, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and DHS insiders are now warning us of what's coming next. They are saying that this threat from these gangs that have taken over multiple different cities inside the United States, and specifically Denver and Aurora, they are about to make a big move, and we could see chaos unleashed by these gangs. That's what a ICE and DHS insider is warning us of right now. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit it up for me down there, hit the like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on all this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is a warning coming from John Fabbricatore, and he is the former head of ICE for the Denver, Colorado area. All right, so this guy knows what's happening here. He has boots on the ground, and he still has people, he knows people on the inside, and they're warning him that there is going to be, quote, a big gang war. That is what he's warning of right now for Colorado. He said, quote, there's about to be a big gang war. This is what he told the Daily Mail. He said, quote, I believe that they're setting up their networks right now. These guys are setting up faster than MS-13 did, and they're getting into these apartment complexes. And what they're doing is starting with illegal human trade, right? He is saying that they're doing human smuggling and human exploitation to fund their crimes and to fund their criminal networks. He said, quote, they're more organized than MS-13. He said he's worked on them for years and they were never organized. They were violent, but never really knew what they were doing. He said, quote, they are a TCO from the bottom to the top and they have connections. Quote, these guys back here are paying somebody back home to leaders in Venezuela. They have networks that they're setting up here, and they're sending shot callers to certain areas. They are way more organized. They're able to move merchandise quicker and move people as well, right? And he says they have that down pat. And he also said, quote, there are some $1 million homes not far from these apartment complexes. How long do you think before they go there? Right? So some key points. He said that these guys here are paying somebody back home in Venezuela. So they're taking over these apartment complexes. They're extorting the residents that live there for rent, potentially. Right? This is what's been reported at multiple different complexes I've covered here. And they are sending this money back to Venezuela, apparently. All right. And he's saying that they're also sending in shot callers, which are people that are heads of these gangs and criminal organizations, are sending them to the U.S. to run certain sections. Right. This is what's happening in Mexico right now, and a lot of countries in South America and Central America. They have these same systems. Okay, these criminal cartels and organizations have taken over certain areas and they run it. They run the show, and the police are actually in bed with a lot of them. All right, they're corrupt as well. They're part of the gang. The police are, because they have so much clout and influence and money. And he's saying that these gangs are setting up inside the U.S. and potentially there could even be a gang war between these certain gangs, right? He's saying that they're fighting for power and influence and money. This is about a lot of it's money. They're coming here to exploit the U.S., exploit the people, and even the people that are coming over as well too. The other migrants that are coming over, they're exploiting all of them. Okay, they're moving humans. The stuff he's saying is even worse than what I'm saying here. I can't even say some of the stuff he's saying because he's talking about stuff that's so bad, what these gangs are doing. All right, so this is the former head of ICE for Colorado. So he knows what's going on. He has his ears in the community and his boots on the ground. And this is also another warning from a retired FBI agent, Dan Brunner. This is what he said. He said, quote, "That tells me that's a TDA property that's showing," right? And he is talking about how at the Whispering Pines apartment, there is TDA gang graffiti all over the walls, and they're marking their territory. Okay, so they go into these apartment complexes and spray paint up the walls and the areas and put their numbers and their tags all over the place so people know, right? This is our area, this is our territory, and this former FBI agent is warning that's what they're doing. They're tagging certain properties as theirs. He said, quote, "Hey, this is our territory, this is our property," along those lines, and it's intimidating the people of that building. It also says that TDA is using cash to expand, meanwhile arming itself. Quote, "Colfax, the area that they're in, has been controlled by the Bloods, Crips, the Serenos for years." And he's saying now this TDA gang is moving into the area, and he's worried that there could be a gang war, okay? Because this gang, this foreign gang, is gaining so much influence and clout and digging in and taking over so brazenly that we could see other gangs pop up. This was happening in Chicago, okay? There's buildings that are being taken over, apartments as well, and there's domestic gangs in Chicago saying that they are going to challenge these foreign gangs for these areas, right? And they've been going back and forth, and this is happening in some of the worst areas in Chicago right now as well too. Some of the poorest, most vulnerable areas of the city are being taken over by these gangs, right? And Colorado as well too. This is Aurora. This is normally a nice, safe suburb of Denver. Okay, I've been to Aurora many times, been to Denver many times. I've actually lived there for a year before, and the situation is deteriorating rapidly, right? It's not safe there. People are saying that they don't want to even walk down the street and go to the park, right? So let me know what you're seeing down below. Please just hit it up for me down there. It helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. All right, these officials are saying it's happening. People are confirming it, boots on the ground. People are seeing it, but the mainstream media and narrative, they keep denying this stuff's happening. For some reason, I don't know who's paying them off to deny these things are happening, that this gang is taking over. Why would you want to deny this? Why wouldn't you want to bring attention to this? This is like the story of the century. Gangs are taking over towns and getting away with it and taking over buildings, and they're denying it. They're saying it's not happening. Why are they denying it? What is their motive? Is somebody paying them to deny this? Are the gangs paying them off? I don't understand how this is happening at a coordinated level across the country where they're denying what citizens are seeing in front of their face, right? So let me know what you guys are seeing down below too. There was also a town in Texas just a few days ago as well, El Paso, Texas, right? They just announced that they had to get an emergency injunction order for a hotel in downtown El Paso, which is a border town, because this TDA gang has taken over this hotel in the town, and they have their roots there, right? And they're exploiting people there, collecting rent, right? They just take over buildings and start collecting rent and start selling illegal substances and all these things here. And it's out in the open. It's right in the middle of downtown El Paso. People are walking by this hotel every day, and they just had to do an emergency order to shut this hotel down and go in there and clear it out, right? And specifically in the order, they're saying this TDA gang took over the hotel. So this is happening all over the country. So be safe, be prepared, guys. Okay, especially when dealing with situations like this. Okay, try to avoid these dangerous situations, but also, if you can't, legally and lawfully defend yourself as well. Be able to defend yourself and your family if you need to. All right, if that's what it comes down to, don't be a victim in these situations. It shouldn't be like this in these cities. You should be safe to walk around your own city. You shouldn't be worried about a foreign transnational gang that is causing chaos. Okay, but I've been documenting this for weeks now. All these different cities that are being taken over. It's happening. So be prepared, be ready, be safe out there, guys. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.